rise and pledge the flag. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please remain standing for a moment of silence for all our military personnel that are serving. Thank you.
Notice the requirements of the Open Public Meeting Law have been satisfied concerning this meeting. The Home Tribune, the Star Ledger, published a notice on January 10th, 2025. It was posted on the municipal bulletin board and should be so noted in the minutes of this meeting. Councilman Anderson.
Here.
Councilman Bauer.
Here.
Councilwoman De Jesus.
Here.
Councilwoman Meehan.
Here.
Councilman Patel.
Here.
Councilman Small. Here. Councilman Harris.
Here.
Vice President McAuliffe.
Here.
And President Spiller.
Here.
Can I get a motion to approve the minutes from our council meeting of September 9th?
Motion. Second.
Any questions or comments from council? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Beginning with second reading ordinances this evening, we're going to take letters A and B by consent. They are both amendments to the traffic section of the revised ordinance of the Township of Woodbridge. The first is to add a handicap parking space on Laurel Street, and the second is to add a handicap parking space on Douglas Street. With that said, can I get a motion that these two ordinances be taken up on second and third reading and the public hearing be open?
Motion. Second.
Any questions or comments from council? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. The public hearing is now open on letters A and B. A and B only. There are no comments from the public. Can I get a motion that the public hearing be closed, the ordinance be adopted, and submitted to the mayor for approval as required by law?
Motion. Second.
Any questions or comments from council? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. For letter C, I'd like to entertain a motion to continue this to the regular council meeting of October the 7th, 2025 at 6 p.m. Can I get a motion to continue?
Motion. Second.
Any questions or comments from council? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Letters D, E, F, G, and H are first reading ordinances. Can I get a motion that these ordinances be passed on first reading, published in the Home News Tribune on September 26th, 2025, with notice of public hearing to be held on October 7th, 2025 at 6 p.m.?
Motion. Second.
Any questions or comments from council? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. And finally, Mr. President, you have 21 resolutions before you. Can I get a motion by consent to approve number 1 through 21?
Motion. Second.
Any questions or comments from council?
Mr. Mayor,
Go ahead.
I'm sorry,
Go ahead.
I'll be abstaining from number 21.
So noted.
Mr. Mitch, regarding resolution number 4, I can speak on behalf of myself and the rest of my fellow councilmates regarding the reappointment for Deputy Municipal Clerk Cheryl Sharkey for a 4-year term. She has been an integral part of your office, as well as all the ladies in your office, and I should say she really came on board and took the bull by the horns and helped get her office out. So, absolutely.
Thank you. Any other comments from council? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. That's all I have.
Thank you. Before we go to the public portion of the meeting, I'm going to call on Vice President McCall. She has a statement to read.
Thank you, President Spiller. I'd like to take this opportunity to respond to a biased article published in the Patch on Wednesday, September 17th, 2025. The inaccurate reports and unwarranted allegations put forth by the Woodbridge Township Republic Committee Chairman and the Republican candidate running for office for the First Ward Council seat in what can only be described as a desperate political attempt to garner headlines weeks before the general election. Please allow me to clear the record. Going as far as back as 1992, when my First Ward opponent was on the council, it has been the policy of the council vice president to make motion to introduce ordinances and resolutions, and I have done so since the beginning of the year. A few months ago, a question at the council meeting was sought to advise that our municipal attorney about my motions on ordinances and resolutions that I plan to recuse myself on, and he suggested that although it was a gray area, that I refrain from even making the motions, which I did instantly. My recluse was based on the fact that I own Not Just Bagels, a store located on Main Street where businesses come before township councils for various approvals. We have reviewed the complaint filed by the state of New Jersey, and it is very specifically refers to actions taken before we sought legal advice and not afterwards, and the complaints known that to be true since they attend all the council meetings and clearly saw different council people making motions. As the council vice president, I have strictly adhered to the advice offered by my municipal attorney, followed by the council parliamentation procedures, and most importantly, the laws governing conflict of interest, and have recused myself on any vote that may be perceived as a conflict of interest, potential or otherwise. I'm not surprised that my opponent in the first ward election, along with the chairman of the Woodbridge Republican Party, have stooped to desperate measures, unproven allegations, and outright lies to gain political advantage. I am confident that the first ward voters who know me and my record will see through this obvious attempt at political gamemanship and will reject the feeble attempts to attack my character, reputation, and commitment to my first ward community. Thank you.
Thank you, Council Vice President. Well said. Legal, Megan?
Yes, as stated by Council Vice President McAuliffe, an issue was raised previously about a particular resolution that was before the council in May of 2025. We disagree that there has been any improper action by Council Vice President McAuliffe on that resolution, as we see no direct conflict of interest, and furthermore, she did abstain from voting on the resolution. However, out of an abundance of caution, and looking into this further, the council has revised its procedure so that when a member of the council recuses themselves from a vote because of a conflict, that council person will no longer participate in any way, including the introduction of the resolution or ordinance by motion.
Thank you, Legal. We will now go to the public comment portion of the meeting. When approaching the microphone, please state your name and what section of the township or state that you live in, and you'll have a one-time opportunity to speak. All members of the audience shall adhere to the township's decorum ordinance, which is posted on the entrance door to council chambers. The public session allows for 5 minutes. This includes remarks by the speaker and any response by the council president or administration. When there is a 1 minute left, I will alert the speaker to ask to emphasize any remaining points or questions. When the 5 minute period is passed, all speakers are to leave the microphone area and return to their chair. All videotaping must be taken in the designated area. The public session portion of the meeting is a comment and/or Q&A interaction between the council president and the speaker. The council president presides over the council president. Thank you. Public portion is now open.
March Petra, Woodbridge. We've been here at several, my group, we've been at several meetings. I've explained to TNR came with paperwork, pictures. I'm truly disappointed in the township administration and the council just turning a blind eye to the problem we have with feral cats in the township. We do TNR. They have events up once a month. The past 3 months, we did 93 cats. There's absolutely no reason that we can't have that man come to the township and do TNR for these cats. Every single cat we have taken in has been sick. Every single one. Which is a big expense for us. Nothing out of our pockets. There's got to be a solution. They'd like to see a solution. Something needs to be done. It's out of control. And nobody ever said anything. I sent emails. I never get an answer.
Excuse me, I'm sorry. Just can you stop this time for 1 second, please?
It's yours.
Okay. Can you repeat the last sentence, please?
There's
Go ahead.
got to be a solution to the feral cat problem in Woodbridge Township. What can we do? There's got to be a solution. And you can't say, oh, the shelter does it, because the shelter does not help township residents, because they can't. We have too many towns. You can't expect them to do 10 towns in Woodbridge, 6, I believe, other towns, and still 6 other towns, and 16 towns. That shelter was built for us, township residents, who aren't being helped. Last time in July, I got 51 calls for help with DNR. We had to put the people on another month. because the TNR van comes to a private residence, because we can't go on township property. What's the solution here? Why is there no solution? Any ideas?
So if that's your question, I want to thank you for coming out tonight and your dedicated team. I know back in the beginning of the year, you had come out, and on April 14th, you signed an MOU, Memo of Understanding,
Yes, I did.
signed by, signed by yourself, which the township, I don't want to say, is permitting you to conduct trap, neuter, and release operations within the township of Woodbridge, signed by yourself and the business administrator. And you took yourself out of that agreement, partnership, whatever you want to call it, MOU, 2 weeks after. So we gave you what you were asking, and then you said you didn't want it. So I'm not sure.
No, he did not give us what we asked for. Absolutely not. The agreement was, we would take the overflow from the shelter with TNR and help the shelter. They did 0 TNRs. 0.
That if you're done, that has,
That's why 2 weeks later, the agreement was no.
that has nothing in the MOU stating anything about the animal shelter. This was between you and the township, and I'm not going to bore you, you signed it, so you know, obviously. But we gave you everything that you need, we gave you everything that you wanted at the time of the MOU, and you signed it.
Listening to me.
It's signed by you.
I know it's not in front of me.
So,
Because we were to do, the agreement was, Mr. Sivaluka and Casey sat there, myself and Arlie Rose, we were to do the overflow from the shelter with TNR.
Council-
Overflow. If the
Council
shelter
President.
needed help, and they needed to let them do it.
That's completely inaccurate.
How is that inaccurate?
That is completely inaccurate. We never agreed to that. And if you asked for that, we would have captured that in the agreement. You signed it, Marge. You read it, you signed it.
I know I signed it, but-
Excuse- Just talk in the microphone, please, Marge. Just talk in the microphone so it's recorded.
Peter, we all sat there, Arlene, myself, Casey, and you, and it was the overflow that the shelter couldn't do TNR, and we would take the overflow. So I don't know, I'm misinformed, I don't know what I'm talking about. What?
Council President, I completely inaccurate.
Oh my God. Seriously? Okay.
Hey,
Are there any other comments from the public this evening?
Hi, good evening. Nicole Paternoster, Avenel. So I'm also here to talk about TNR. I don't know about any agreements. It's just something that I've recently become involved in because I'm hearing a lot from the community itself. I will say I'm not involved with cats. I don't own cats. I'm highly allergic to cats, so I'm in no way but I know I'm getting complaints. And first I just want to explain, because I don't know if everyone in this room knows what it is. But TNR is basically, we trap community cats who are living out there, neuter and return them vaccinated. There's a problem. There's a problem. These shelters, I was trying to get one cat from Woodbridge into a shelter. Woodbridge shelter couldn't take it. I contacted 55 places in the state of New Jersey, rescues, shelters. No one could take one cat. They are completely overwhelmed. So current approaches, we talk about like removing them. You remove a bunch of cats, other cats come into that place. So we can't just remove them. We can't just keep euthanizing these cats. Trap, neuter, and return breaks that cycles. Cats are humanely trapped, spayed or neutered. Fixed cats no longer reproduce. They fight less, they spray less, they cause fewer complaints. So we have a petition signed from local residents who want TNR, or at least an open discussion about it. So 247 signatures in total, 65 from residents of Woodbridge Township and neighboring towns. We also launched a community survey on Sunday. We have already 14 responses, which I would like to bring up to Mr. Mitch, show strong support for humane solutions. People are talking about not wanting their kids out in their yards because they have feral cats in their yards. There's feces all over. There are huge cat communities living behind stores in Woodbridge Township. If you would take some time to drive around, you would see how large these cat communities are. We're talking 15, 25, 40, 50 cats living in one area. In the space of a few years, one unspayed female can produce thousands of kittens. They can reproduce at 4 months old. So if we're not doing anything about that, it will continue to grow. So I'm asking, even though you've had discussions apparently already, I would love to be more involved in figuring out if there's something else that we can do to make this happen. It doesn't necessarily even have to cost the township must. I know a lot of people ask about, it's going to raise my taxes, is it going to come out of that? It's actually very cheap. If you think how much it takes to keep a cat in a shelter, we can do this for under $100 a cat. And we're talking about a huge difference. So we hope that you'll recognize TNR as official approach to managing community cats in our township, partner with local volunteers and rescue groups who we know are ready to implement and sustain this program, and open a dialogue for a pilot program where we can at least try and see what we can do. South Amboy just passed an ordinance a few weeks ago. Belleville's doing it, Atlantic Highlands, Middletown. There are towns that are doing this in conjunction with volunteers that is working. And so this is something that's very cost effective. It's not, there's really no downside or con to doing this. So I do want to give you a copy of the petitions with the people who have signed it, as well as the comments from people. So 92% of the 14 people have seen strays in their area, up to 25, 10, 3 to 5 in a group. Kittens being born in their area, 53%.
1 minute, Nicole.
Issues. One more minute. Yep. And so that, and 76.9% of the people who took the survey said that they feel like our current cat population is growing. So I think it's time that we do take a stand and try to figure out what we can do, not only for these cats to make their lives better, but also for the community, because there are diseases that are brought in. They continue to grow if we don't do anything about it. Okay? And Mr. Mitch, can I bring this up to you?
Thank you.
Are there any other comments from the public this evening?
Hello, my name is David Rudd from Ford's, and this is my husband Scott. 12 years ago, we were talking about adopting, and so we interviewed with the local office of DCPP, and we asked them if there were enough kids in the system, and we decided we would, if there would be one for us. And they said that there were so many kids in the foster care system in our county that they didn't have enough toys for them at Christmas time that year. So that year, Scott and I pulled together our little resources and we made up a toy drive. That was 12 years ago. And we've been doing it every holiday season since then. And it's grown so huge. Last year we had 35 different businesses and community partners hosting a drop box, including Sharon. Thank you. And this year we're partnering again with the local Chamber of Commerce and a bunch of other businesses and partnerships. And so we're here tonight actually to ask if Woodbridge would cordially consider being our first municipal partner. Being hometown people here, we wanted to bring that to you guys. I have a flyer for you so you can learn more about it. Right now we're collecting commitments, and so until October 10th we're still getting everybody together. You have a little time to decide, but it really is next to no commitment, just hosting a box maybe here at City Hall. Or if any people in the community want a box, you guys can have one too. So
I want to just add that last year we raised over 1,750 toys that went to our local children. Toys for Tots is wonderful. When you give a toy for Toys for Tots, it goes anywhere in the country. These are our kids getting toys. And when we dropped off the toys this year, the caseworker said, you have no idea how wonderful this is, because there's been budget cuts. We can't afford toys for kids anymore. So all our kids in Middlesex County were covered this year. And we actually were able to give to other counties. So eventually our goal is to be Jersey strong.
we'd like to take care of all of New Jersey, if possible, one day. So can we bring a flyer to you?
Sure. So first and foremost, I want to, on behalf of the rest of my council mates, I want to thank you for everything that you're doing. That's outstanding. If you want to either give our Mr. Mitch or Mr. Samaluka your information, we will definitely look into it and have somebody get back out to you.
Awesome. Thank you.
Make a comment?
Councilwoman.
I commend your work. We do that, and it's funny because Pat Trombetta is here, and him and I work through the holidays to take care of, how many kids did we take care of this year? There was Hundreds, just hundreds of children, and we work along with the police department. So after the meeting, I'd love to sit and just talk to you, and maybe we could put our sources together. If you have children that need toys, we are absolutely willing to help you. We take care of all the kids we can in Woodbridge Township. So it's a big thing. We've been doing it for years, and if you want to work together, we would love to have you.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
Council
thank you.
President, also earlier, when we were doing the flag raising, I believe our Board of Education member, why is her name escaping me? Jenny Perez was here. She works with David's Touch Foundation. That's something that she created. She also collects a lot of toys there. So I think between yourself and the councilwoman and the Board of Education, I think you guys could really do some really good things.
Yeah.
I could see a Dropbox. I used to work with the Lions International, and people would drop their glasses in there.
Right.
It's just a matter of that has to be maintained because toys.
We take care of all of it for you. If
Great.
you host a box.
All right.
We look after it.
All right.
Council
Okay.
President, on behalf of the administration, we're all in.
Oh, awesome. Thank you so much, Mayor. Awesome. Thank you.
Yes. Present our information. Thank you.
Are there any other comments from the public this evening?
Good evening, Council.
Evening.
My name is Arlene Rhodes, Forts. As most of you know, I have been here several times to request that our township implement an organized, detailed, structured TNR program. I thought attending this many council meetings and speaking to you that we would have been at some type of resolution, policy, or vision in place. I was under the assumption that the purpose of having council members were that you can enact changes for our community. I also thought you would assist in obtaining resolutions to help guide community operations for this program. So once again, I'm here to say, please look into a township TNR program. This program will help control cat population. This program needs to be passed in our township. Surrounding towns have already adapted this program. Funds can be allocated by the fines the shelter gives to feeders. I know of 3 people who were fined well over $1,000 each. Also, the shelter has a 501c that exclusively fundraises for the shelter. They can surely allocate funds for TNR purposes. Please look into this kind of program. You can't expect, and this goes to Vito, one small rescue to absorb all the costs for injured and feral cats in Woodbridge. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other comments this evening?
Hi, my name is Meryl. I live in Fords, and I know you're all exhausted from the topic of TNR.
No, we're not.
So I'm going to be short, and I'm going to be sweet. Animals can't speak, so we are the voices that need to stand up for them. I believe in ahimsa, which stands for no harm to any living creature. I'm Jewish. I volunteer at the First Presbyterian Church. I help all different organizations, all different religions, Indian, Diwali. I volunteer all over the township. Where I live in Fords is behind the library, on diagonal from the school that's been closed, that the playground is supposed to be coming into that has not arrived yet. The Green Market across Route 1 behind the Dunkin' Donuts that was closed to put in some kind of a hotel that you now can't even cut through the back street because the township gave permission to them to close it off and gate it so you can't cut through. The traffic is intense going down Ford Avenue. Everybody tries to beat the 2 traffic lights on Ford Avenue and Main Street and the other one on Main Street. They come down Marlin Drive. They zippity-doo-dah straight through. The property behind the library, they just put a beautiful new fence in on the one side. And there are living creatures in there that are starving, sick, crying in the middle of the night, fighting, and feeding off each other. So if you don't think that it's in the best interest to take care of living creatures that can't speak for themselves, then I think it is truly a very sad day for everyone that lives within the confines of this township. You can open bars, you can have tikis, you can take care of the homeless, You can open an OTB betting place 3 blocks from a public school. So you guys make up the rules and change the rules for whatever serves the purpose of what's best for the township. Sorry to say, watching living creatures get hit by cars, starve to death, and eaten by other creatures is not a human positive activity. Thank you.
Are there any other comments from the public this evening? Hearing no other comment, can I get a motion that the public?
Paul Lund, Hope Lawn. At the last council meeting, I didn't ask about Old Bridge's Board of Education. I asked about Woodbridge. The people want to know why, with all the pilot revenue this administration boasts about, our taxes have never been frozen, not even for 1 year, while Mayor Owen Henry managed 6 years in Old Bridge. Sharing a slice of pilot money with schools, and I hear it's about 25%, doesn't change the fact that pilot agreements shortchange education compared to regular property taxes. Doesn't explain why families keep paying more every year. Why do developers get a tax break while the residents bear the full bore of the taxes? So I'm going to ask again, if pilots are the success story they're claimed to be, why hasn't that success translated into real tax relief for Woodbridge residents? Second question I have is...
I'm sorry, repeat the first question.
First question, why hasn't all the successful pilot programs ever translated to either a tax freeze for even 1 year or tax relief to the beleaguered residents of Woodbridge?
3 years.
Second,
Mayor's going to answer
We
your
did
first
have
question.
frozen taxes 2 years in a row, I think in 2021 and 2022. The tax rate did not go up, so we didn't have it for 1 year, we had it for 2 years. Pilots do not shortchange the Board of Ed, as I say over and over again. They set the amount they need to from taxation in their budget. They send us their A4F form. We bill that amount and we pay them that amount. But they have to follow the rules for caps and how much they can raise taxes and how much they can raise spending, but they get whatever they need. We don't shortchange anybody. And the fact that we have pilot revenue in our budget means it's replacing what taxes would have paid for. So the question is not what is the revenue, the question is what are the expenses, and if you have any issue with the expenses, bring it on. But without that pilot money, taxes would go up astronomically because we had $28 million this year in the budget from pilot revenue. So Mr. Lund doesn't understand how this all works. If we didn't have that, we'd either have to cut services drastically or raise taxes drastically. Neither one of them is acceptable to us. We do share with the Board of Ed, unlike any other town in the entire state of New Jersey, and they have $200 million after this next project for School 10, and the rest of it is done. When we finally get DEP approval, we will have spent over $200 million on our schools. That keeps them from raising that $200 million in the tax rate. So either you want new schools paid for by the pilots or you don't. And again, property taxes are just one piece of the puzzle. Property values are even more important. $50 a year compared to $10,000 in property taxes. It would take you 200 years to pay $50 a year to equal $10,000. It would take you 100 years of paying $100 a year to equal $10,000. And new schools raise your property values. Ask anybody downtown with Ross Street and Woodbridge Middle what the property values downtown. Ask any realtor what that has done for the property values downtown. I'll guarantee you the answer is it's an enormous boost, and it pales in comparison. The tax increase every year pales in comparison to property value increases. That's what matters. You're going to sell your home someday. You're going to sell your home to somebody either with small kids or about to have small kids, and the number one thing they look for when they're buying a house is the school system. And the stronger it is, and the better the facilities, the more value you can get for your home, and that's what we're concerned about. Thank you, Council President.
Thank you, Mayor.
I assume that the response did not cut into my 5 minutes. Accurate?
Yes,
Just
sir.
a second.
It's your 5 minutes.
My other question, Assemblyman
1 minute.
Coughlin. I only had 30 seconds to get out the first question. Now I only have a minute. Assemblyman Coughlin
5
last
minutes.
time brought up the fact that even though we've met our responsibilities of affordable housing mandated by the state, that we're going to continue developing. My question is, since we're probably close to 90% developed, where's all this developing going to go? Where on earth are we going to put it? We already have the problem of traffic snarls, increased crime, people walking into driveways. They were taking catalytic converters. Who knows what they're doing now as criminal reports are not coming out in the News Tribune paper, but are probably getting swept under the rug. The pilot program feels like a Ponzi scheme. The false argument the mayor's making is that we have no other alternative but to do pilots. Why not ask developers to pay the full bore of property tax? Why do we always have to compromise and give the mayor his personal piggy bank every single time?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Are there any other comments from the public this evening?
Your 5 minutes is up.
No answer?
Councilman Spiller, I will add, if I may. When I first became a councilman, the gentleman sitting to your right, he charged us with counting I remember him counting the vacant storefronts and asked us, what are we doing about that? Right? Now, Metuchen, Cranford, all of the towns around us have built up because businesses are going to go where there's foot traffic. And if we didn't do anything to help the foot traffic there, you're in a catch-22. You either want to have a business here and you want it to be successful, or you want it to be a ghost town. One or the other. You have businesses that Mr. Vitarik had pointed out. All of these businesses, he counted up, he said nine storefronts are empty. What are you doing about it? He asked us, right? So now that there's development, ask some of the business owners downtown on how business is compared to when it was 10 years ago.
Thank you.
You're up.
Good evening, Christy Hansen, Woodbridge
Evening.
proper. This morning, when I was attempting to bring my son to school, Elmwood Avenue was in the process of being ripped up and paved during rush hour with basically no notice. No parking signs went up late yesterday afternoon. There was no police officer present anywhere directing traffic. Cars were literally driving through as they were ripping up the road, trying to go around these construction vehicles. The surrounding roads that should have been closed off to eliminate that hazard were not closed off. I contacted the police department. I walked everywhere. There was not a police officer, and I was told that they were going to try their best to get an officer to come out. My son, who's a new driver, literally was like in a panic as I was pulling back from dropping my other son off at the high school. He's like, Mom, I don't know where to go. I don't know what to do. This kind of chaos during rush hour with no sort of organization, it's not acceptable. We also had someone come into the Chitterelli headquarters the other day, a constituent, who was complaining about the water company who was digging up her street with no notice, nothing written. Apparently they knocked on doors, but she either wasn't home or didn't hear them. And there was no literature left at her door letting her know what was happening. Now, we use the township emergency system, and I have no problem with it advertising volunteer events and concerts and things like that. But maybe we should consider letting the people of Woodbridge know when major things are going to occur in their area that are going to impact them. And maybe we should try not to do it during rush hour and when the kids are trying to get to school. And maybe we should be a little bit more organized about the way we go about these things, because the reason that our infrastructure is failing and our roads need to be repaved constantly and we need the water company to upgrade the water lines is because of this constant building that we're doing. That's all I have.
Thank you.
Any other comments from the public this evening? Here are no other comments. Can I get a motion that the public comment portion be closed?
Thank you for waiting, Mr. President. Ken Gardner, 101 Scudder Avenue,
Evening.
Woodbridge. Good evening. Mr. President, can you tell me the last time that the township zoning ordinance has been updated?
Off the top of my head, I can't. I believe it was the last time the zoning ordinance was updated. Are you talking about the master
Maybe
plan?
Mrs. Darden might know the township zoning ordinance.
I don't remember the last time there was a complete We just adopted another amendment to the zoning ordinance in July. And we do that regularly, so that's kind of not an easy question to answer because it's ongoing. It's at least several times a year.
We're not
and-
doing the whole book all at once. We're constantly making.
Yeah, and we'll continue to do that because that's the most responsive that a zoning ordinance can be, and that's the goal. So that'll continue. I don't know if you're asking something more specific?
No, I mean, that's a fair answer. I would suggest that the council immediately, someone on the council put it on their agenda. If I'm elected, I certainly would put it on my agenda to look at the entire zoning ordinance for the township. We've been building these monstrosities in the downtown area, and certainly I've spoken against those many times. So if we look at the zoning ordinance and we make that illegal, we can stop that from happening. The mayor has said at a previous meeting that we've met our Mount Laurel housing quota, so we don't need to add anything more there, but that if we were to do more, we would have to add 15%. So how long ago did we meet our Mount Laurel housing quota? Was that just with one of these recent projects? I mean, the mayor seemed to be pretty up on that subject. Maybe he knows the answer. When we met our Mount Laurel housing quota.
Okay, so currently, if I may, Council President, we have just entered into what the state calls their fourth round. So every 10 years since the original Mount Laurel decision in the early 80s that was handed down from the courts to the state for implementation, there is another round of Mount Laurel numbers and requirements for each of the towns in the state to meet. Each of the towns then have to adopt effectuating ordinances to meet those requirements, and if they don't, then there's something called the Builder's Remedy lawsuit that I think we were engaged in a couple when you were on the council. If it wasn't when, it was like right after, because how we got set into our initial responsibility through the court was by not meeting that initial requirement from the original round, which is now, like, we're talking 35, almost 40 years ago.
So the question was, when did we meet our quota?
So
When
it
did
doesn't.
we meet our quota? I appreciate
Okay, well,
your-
but that's not an accurate question because
All right,
there's
well,
not a
let me
meeting.
continue. Let me continue then. As Mrs. Darden had pointed out, I do remember back when I was on the council, we did have some builders sue the town, and we actually beat the builder. We stopped the development of over 3,000 condos back then that were not built. So there is a way to beat the builders. Unfortunately, administration since then have given in to the builders. They believe in these building programs, and it's just not good for the township. I think so many people are against it. I think if we were to take the zoning ordinance up, we could make it the township law to stop these projects. So I would ask somebody to take that up again. Thank you for the time.
Thank you.
Are there any other comments from the public?
Good evening, John Vertari, Woodbridge. In Woodbridge, as you heard tonight, even tonight, we got a big problem with the traffic. We went to the school meeting the other day. Traffic in Pertabo and 35 is 35 miles an hour, I believe 25 miles an hour. I understand school 11 over here, it's 25, 35 miles an hour. But if you go from Green Street to high school, I would like to know how many accidents did we have in a year between Main Street and high school? I would like to know what we're going to do about it. People are complaining, cross guards are complaining, people do 70, 80 miles an hour. Why don't we suggest it to the state? I tried it before a couple of years ago, use the speed on 35. If Pertabo can reduce the speed on 25 at Amboy Avenue going to Pertabo from Woodbridge, If they can put it by the high school, why can't we do it from Township over up to Route 109 over there? You go to other towns in the state, you get off the road, main highway, it's 25 miles an hour most of the towns. It's terrible. Something bad's gonna happen, you talk to your Coast Guards, you talk to anybody what's happening. Accidents left and right. Even tonight, there was probably one by the high school. There was Saturday night, there was one by my place. People are speeding. They go 25 miles an hour per Township, they got to Woodbridge, I guess they want to make up, and then you get to a train station, to train tracks by the library, it comes the train, you stick another 25 minutes. You can do something about it. You don't tell me you can do it because state road. If Township did it, other towns do it, we can do it. For safety of the kids, for safety of everybody else. People don't want to wait 3 minutes for live traffic light to change. And please do it something. Meantime, put police there, get this guy that's speeding, give him a ticket, don't be afraid. They're criminals in my book. Okay, what happened last meeting on September 9th, they come this catastrophe in Township on State Street,
I'm sorry, say that.
and I brought it up.
Well, I didn't hear a part.
I said, what happened last 2 weeks ago, I was in September 9th at the beginning, and things were brought up, what happened on State Street, the road cracking, caving in, and I was made aware of it Saturday before. I knew what happened because somebody told me. They was there. They did work on it. What happened was, it was just a bad catastrophe. Whoever approved them to do what they did it. I wasn't aware of it. They're going to build a warehouse there. I wasn't aware to how big construction goes there. I don't. Most of the people were not aware of it.
Just don't touch the mic, please.
And then what happened was, we find out there was people that do construction that caused the catastrophe. And that's what I said. That's what I said there.
That's a,
And the mayor said to me,
Speaking
I can get sued. Right? I could get sued. Well, guess what? Who is responsible for Kevin? Who's going to get sued? You people might get sued now. Because you approve, council approved the full building, you get zoning board, planning board, down the street engineering, everybody else approved to have the job going done. Who checked it out, they do the right job? Who checked what they did? They stabilize the grounds, it's sinking, it's sliding. So please, next time, if you do know, if I knew on Saturday before, how come the mayor didn't know until following Tuesday?
were you at the planning board when it got approved?
Pardon me?
Were you at the planning board when it got approved?
No, but you, no, I wasn't.
Were you at the
but who-
redevelopment agency meeting?
No,
when it
wait,
got
who
approved?
approved it? It's Woodbridge, it had to be Woodbridge or planning board.
Just asking, 1 minute, sir.
That's what I have to say. But please, again, do something about it, and don't accuse somebody that because if you don't want people to know, don't tell them it's not true.
Nobody accused anyone of the September 9th meeting that you are making reference to.
September
The mayor
9th.
sat there, he answered your questions, nobody was accused, it was still under investigation, we brought in scientists, we brought in Earth, everybody else, and it was still, so for you to come here and say right now, it's this person's fault, you are spreading
Second thing is,
misinformation.
it's a state
Sir,
road, it's a county road.
I didn't say anything
Why,
about
where's
state
the
road.
county? Why is it just
Come
Woodbridge
here and
responsible?
blaming somebody. From a September 9th meeting. I watched
No,
September 9th.
September
I wasn't
9th,
here.
not
I know
19th,
exactly
night.
what was said by the mayor over there, sir.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. President,
Yes, sir.
may I just opine here, talking about speeding and enforcement, I looked these numbers up previously and I refreshed myself. So this last year, Woodbridge, in terms of Central Jersey, issued 40,247 traffic stops, resulting in tickets. That's more than double the next town underneath it, North Brunswick, is 17,858. That's an increase from the year before, where Woodbridge Township Police issued 34,240 tickets, which is also nearly double on the next previous town. So kudos to our police department for enforcing our traffic laws. So I just want to point that out, just for clarification. They are out there doing their stops. So, thank you.
Thanks, Councilman Harris.
Are there any other comments from the public this evening? Here are no other comment. Can I get a motion that the public comment portion be closed?
Motion?
All in favor, aye. Aye. Opposed? We'll go into the agenda.
Thank you. I'm sorry, Mayor.
I'd like to answer the questions. First of all, constant building does not cause personal water lines to deteriorate. Age does, but not the fact that we're building does not cause a house 10 miles away to need a new water line. There's no connection at all between building and water line. The water company has done an abysmal job, frankly, of handling the Renew program. And we don't know when they're going to come and open up a road to pave it. We should, but they have not been terribly cooperative with us on this whole program. And they're also going to work on preparing or replacing lines from streets to houses next year. And we've made it very clear that we want to be involved in that process. We want to send letters out to people, let them know what's going on. We want to put phone numbers of our engineering department and the mayor's office to call. We want to put their phone numbers and their names of people to call. But they have been terrible. The Renew program continues for the next couple of years. It won't be like that next year because we will be very active in Renew and in the plan to replace actual lines. Number two, we don't develop to get more affordable housing. That was implied that we want, if we will use our money in the Affordable Housing Fund for more affordable housing, doesn't mean we're going to build to get it. We can do things on our senior buildings. We can do things on other properties to make them more attractive. But just because we don't need more affordable housing doesn't mean we're going to not going to try to get more. But we're not going to build more to get more. No one ever said that. That's not true. Number three, crime's not up in Woodbridge Township. Not at all. In fact, across all major categories except one, it's been down in the last year. That's a misstatement. Mr. Vitarik is against traffic, he's against speeding. It's hard to imagine you can have traffic and speeding on the same street, because you can't speed in traffic. So I don't know what it is. He's against everything and blaming us for everything. There's traffic. I would submit that there's less traffic downtown in some cases than there was 10 years ago, because you have to look at what was here before the building. Right across the street are apartments of people, over half of which take the train to work, so they don't cause traffic during the week. There's always traffic on weekends. Before that, there was 10 stores in a strip mall with cars coming and going, 3 restaurants, 7 other businesses, and cars coming and going all day to that strip mall. And now there's apartments with very minimal traffic to and from because the people go to work by train. At the Avenue and Green site, there were 200 parking spots that Riffy's owned that people came to town to take the train and then left. Now there's apartments there where people do the same thing. They jump on the train. They're even closer to the train there. And they don't even, for 2 people, they'll have 1 car. Some apartments have no cars. So the thought that the apartments bring traffic, you have to look at what was there before the apartments. There was Riffy's, which was busy all the time at night, all weekend, late hours of the night. There was a very attractive bar that had a lot of traffic. Now that's gone. There was retail stores. There was the busiest Quick Check in the state was right there, having cars coming and going all the time. And a Kentucky Fried Chicken and some other doctor's office. Now there's a strip mall with a lot less activity than the busiest Quick Check in town. In the last couple of years, we took trucks off Main Street and Green Street. Trucks still use it, and we're working with Waze. We finally found a way from another town how to try to get that to happen. Every truck's worth 6 cars, and there's no more trucks on Main Street and Green Street. So all these things, when you look at what's there now, you have to look at what was there before. And in most cases, what's there now produces less traffic than there was before. Everybody says there's traffic. We understand there's traffic. I can look at my window and see cars travel up and down Main Street. Is it worse than it was 5 years ago? I don't know. I can't say for sure it is, because in many cases, what's here now is less. Mr. Gardner spoke out. Yes, he said he spoke out against the apartments. Right after he spoke out for them, he spoke out against them. I quoted him 2 weeks ago. I have the quote here if you want me to read it again. But he basically said that the downtown is successful. He named all different downtown shops. He mentioned the dress shop. He mentioned the restaurants. And he said all
The mayor's wrong
because of the apartments.
He's been wrong.
Mr. Gardner, I'm not doing this again.
I don't get to rebut this?
The 5-minute public
Wait a minute.
portion's
Well, the
over.
mayor's
You
talked
can have
for
your
over
seat.
5 minutes.
You can have your seat. He's talking, the 5 minutes is done. He's talking, we're in our agenda portion, he's talking.
So he
The 5
can-
minutes
he can
done.
speak
That's the
forever, and we
second
only get
time.
5
I'm not
minutes?
gonna tell you a third time. Have a good night.
Mr. Gardner also says he fought 3,000 condos back in the early 90s. There was never a plan, ever a plan for 3,000 condos in the 1990s. What happened was, in 1990, the town master plan, recognizing the fact that builders were suing the town because they did not have a very good affordable housing plan. The town, and that was before we were here in 1992, they decided to put in their plan 3,000 apartments in Casby on land that right now was so contaminated, we still can't even open up a park. So somebody said, let's just put this in the plan, and if anybody sues us, we can say we have a plan because it's in our master plan. There was no site plan. Nobody had control of the properties. There was multiple different sites. As I said, it was highly contaminated. There was no plan for a school or multiple schools. There was no plan for roads. There was nothing but a pipe dream to put in the plan. So you can't fight nothing. That's like saying Mr. Garner stopped the Loch Ness Monster from coming down Smith Creek. It's like saying he stopped the Bigfoot from going in Elmore Avenue to the Scout Forest. The Bigfoot and Loch Ness Monster and condos in Casby have one thing in common. They're all not real. It was never real. So you can't say you stopped something that never was happened. Nobody ever came with a plan and said, this is what I want to do, and this is why I have 3,000, I have a plan for 3,000 condos, apartments, whatever. Nobody ever had a plan. It didn't exist, so you can't stop that. Now, last thing is Smith Street. I'm glad Mr. Vitarik is such a good geotechnical engineer that he knows what's solved the problem, what started the problem. The county believes it was the construction project. So does almost everybody involved. Nobody knows for sure. They have to get out there. They have to measure everything down to 1/8 of an inch. They have to measure everything. There's a retaining wall. No one even knows who owns it, the county or the state, because Smith Street was repaved in 2014. The DOT was involved the last time the road was reconstructed 20 or 30 years earlier. Nobody knows what the soils are like. There's got to be measurements taken. There's got to be samples taken. It takes a month to get samples out of the lab. That was a week ago they were taken. We had a meeting yesterday morning at 8 o'clock with 20 people in a room from the county, from the state, from the water company, from the gas company, from the electric company, all over. Everybody's working on this. Nobody can say with certainty what caused it. Everybody suspects it was the project. It makes a lot of sense that it was the project because until the project started, it just didn't happen. As far as liability, I don't think we're ever going to be liable. First of all, the state approved the removal of the tanks on the Hess site, on the site that's being developed. The state approved those and had the contract to get them out. We didn't. The county didn't even. It's not the county's project. Nobody can say what caused this with certainty. Everybody suspects it. Mr. Vitarik has got absolutely no training, no experience, no education in the field of geotechnical engineering. The experts don't know until they take samples, take tests. So for him to stand up and say, I know what caused it, please, he has no idea what caused it. And we've said this, we've been consistent ever since this happened. So I'm just trying to clean up some of the things that were said that were false. Thank you, Council President.
Thank you, Mayor. As always, I want to thank you for correcting this information that's put out there. We'll now move to the council agenda portion of the meeting, starting myself. Item number 8, very happy to announce that Sprouts, located in the Cloverleaf Shopping Center, will be having a grand opening next Friday, October 3rd. Many other unique and different businesses will be following shortly. Sprouts, with their 100 employees, as well as employees from the other businesses, will total well over 200 permanent jobs for the site. Congratulations, can't wait to shop with all their businesses. Item number 9, please join me and the Avenel Fire Department for their annual Woodbridge open house on Saturday, October 11th from 10 to 1 at the Avenel Firehouse. Come see Sparky, go through the smoke trailer, and enjoy all of the activities that we have involved. The rest of my agenda is in order. Just one announcement. I want to thank engineering and Tom Flynn regarding storm safety and flood insurance. This time of year can bring severe weather events, including nor'easters, heavy rain, and high winds. Woodbridge Township is aggressively implementing proactive measures to to protect residents under situations of flooding. These efforts are designed to inform residents on how to prepare for potential flood emergency and how to reduce the rising cost of flood insurance. To further advance these strong resiliency efforts, the township has participated in the CRS program Community Rating System, a federal emergency management agency FEMA-sponsored program that encourages and recognizes community floodplain management and planning activities that exceed the minimum requirements of the National Flood Insurance Program. FEMA estimates that CRS communities represent only about 7% of over 22,000 communities participating in the NFIP. In order to bring a little more specific to Avenel, in order to prevent vehicles from becoming stranded during flood events, we are excited to announce the installation of early flood monitoring systems at the Leesville Avenue Underpass and Avenel Street Underpass. These devices will measure flood inundation levels on the road and issue an alert to our police department and emergency management office, triggering road closures at each of these locations. A car can float in only 2 feet of moving water, and you should never drive through floodwaters. These measures will help minimize risk within flood-prone areas and continue to keep Woodbridge the best and most resilient town around. Once again, I want to thank the administration, Director Brew. Your crews were out there hard working, installing these. So again, thank you very much. Rest of my agenda is in order. God bless America. Council Vice President.
Thank you, Council President. My agenda is in order. I just have a few announcements to make tonight. Number 2, the Chamber of Commerce. The Mayor's Breakfast will be held this Friday on September 26th. If you missed a chance to get the tickets, you can always watch the presentation on Channel 35. And also the Chairman's Awards Dinner, the 61st Annual Chairman's Award Dinner honoring people throughout the town and members of the Chamber will be held on October 9th at the Delta Hotel. This is a wonderful event. Tickets are still available. Please contact the Chamber of Commerce to get your ticket today. Number 4, the arts. The Barron Arts Center will be holding their 18th Annual Barron Arts Fest on October 11th at Parker Press. There will be over 40 artists and crafters will be selling pottery, paintings, photos, metal works of art, and handcrafted jewelry. This event will be held from 12 to 4 p.m. The St. James Street Fair was held last Saturday. This was a wonderful success. A thank you to all the vendors, the St. James team, and everyone who attended, helping to make a truly memorable day in the heart of downtown Woodbridge. And there's still time to sign up for the Frank Gagnon Memorial Fishing Derby on Saturday, October the 11th at the Woodbridge Pond for a fun-filled day of fishing. This is a free event open to all anglers under from the age of 16 and under. Bring your gear, catch your line, and reel in the excitement and register today. And thank you to DPW for getting the fountains in the pond repaired so rapidly. That's all I have today. Thank you.
Thank you, Council President. Councilman Anderson, I'm sorry.
Thank you, Council President. My agenda is in order. I just have a few announcements. Excuse me. First, I'd like to announce that on October 8th, the community will be holding a candlelight vigil silent wellness exhibit, and this will be at 95 Port Reading Avenue, Acacia Center. This is for acknowledging and the silent witness exhibit for the those who have suffered from domestic violence. This will be from 5 o'clock to 8 o'clock on October 8th. The ceremony will begin at 6:30. Again, that's October 8th, 95 Port Reading Avenue, the Acacia Center, and it's called the Candlelight Vigil and Silent Witness Exhibit. I would also like to congratulate First Baptist Church on their health fair back on September 13th. They had a lot of people from the community came out, had their blood pressure checked, their sugar checked, and a number of other things that we walk around with every day. And it was great that the church was able to provide that. And I would like to congratulate both Principal Osborne and Principal Chiera and the Woodbridge community. Last Friday night was an amazing football game. I think that we had close to 6,000 students and families to come watch a classic Woodbridge Colonia battle. The Woodbridge Police Department, our security team led by Councilman Small, our teachers, the staff, and our students and TV 35 really came out and showed the community that we can have a big event and everyone can get home safely, enjoy themselves, and we can watch it again as many times as we want on TV 35. The student section was awesome that day. From where I was sitting, and they had their cell phone lights. When the lights went out, they had their cell phone lights, and both student sections were back and forth doing their own show to each other, and it was really, really cool. And I've been getting a lot of thank yous from people in the community because it was just it was what high school experience should be about. So thank you all that were involved in making a memorable night for Woodbridge Township. Thank you. That's all I have.
Thank you, Councilman Anderson. Councilman Bauer?
Thank you, Council Vice President. Item number 7, Ford's Casby and Hopewell Fire Companies. Ford's Fire Company Fire Prevention Open House will be held on Monday, October 6th and Tuesday, October 7th from 5:30 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. located at their firehouse at 667 King George's Road in Fords. Hopewell Fire Department Fire Prevention Open House will be held on Monday, October 13th from 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. at their firehouse located at 127 Loretta Street in Hopewell. Come down and meet your firefighters, learn about fire safety, photo opportunities, free gifts, and a great time for the whole family. That's all I have tonight. God bless all our first responders, our military, and God bless America. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilman Small?
Thank you, Council Vice President. Fort Reading's Ladies Auxiliary on October 4th is holding a craft fair at the Acacia Center, 95 Fort Reading Avenue in Woodbridge. Vendors, raffles, swag bags, free entry, food, and more. And this benefits the Cooperman Barnabas Hospital. Join the Fort Reading Fire on October 9th for an open house. It is from 6:30 to, from 6 to 8. Fire prevention, gifts, giveaways, fun night for all. October 28th, Fort Reading Fire EMS will be hosting our annual trunk retreat. It's from 6 to 7 o'clock, 7:30. You can register your trunk at treasurer@prfas.com. The more trunks we have, the better off the kids will be. This is our first leg of our toy drive for Christmas for Bristol Myers Squibb Children's Hospital that we do every year. So we ask that you bring a toy to this drive. Greatly appreciate it. The annual light parade will be held November 29th. It starts at 6 p.m. right here on Main Street. Every year it's getting bigger and better. John Mitch has been heavily recruiting some special people to come out this year, so we've got a lot of surprises coming. So make sure you mark your calendar for November 29th. And the American Irish, halfway to St. Patrick's Day, Woodbridge Community Appreciation Day, Sunday, September 28th, celebrating our youth in our community. Food, beer, wine for sale, tricky trade, games, and more. Food collection benefit local pantries. So please bring a food item. That is September 28th from 1 to 5 p.m. at the very busy Acacia Center, 95 Fort Reading Avenue in Woodbridge. God bless all our first responders, and God bless. That's all I have, Council Vice President.
Thank you. Councilwoman DeJesus?
Thank you, Council Vice President. Thank you, Councilman Harris. Item number 5, Police Community Relations. I would just like to congratulate Sergeant Carlos Villegas and Woodbridge Fire Chief Robert Mickler on their proclamations today for saving a life. And they are just 2 examples of how our first responders are always there for our residents or anyone in need. And it just shows how well-trained our first responders from our police department to our ambulances are trained. And again, congratulations to all. Item number 8, I want to just thank everyone that was involved with planning the Hispanic Heritage Festival, which was last Saturday at this end of Main Street. And it was a fantastic event with vendors. The food vendors were very happy because they sold out of a lot of their food. Live music and just interacting with the community. If you missed it, don't worry, we'll do it again next year. And you're all welcome to come. So I want to thank Brian Molnar, the director of the Recreation Department, Eileen Caggiano, the Department of Public Works, our police department, our health department, our library, everybody that was involved and everyone that participated. Again, thank you for always helping me celebrate Hispanic Hispanic heritage in Woodbridge Township. Item number 10, the Free Public Library of Woodbridge will be hosting for college-bound high school students and their parents or guardians a virtual workshop on October 2nd at 6 p.m. that will answer questions about college entrance exams. Families will learn key differences between the SAT and ACT, especially with the new digital SAT format. The best time to start studying, keys to achieving one's highest score, and how the SAT, ACT can impact merit aid and scholarship. This workshop also covers income savings and asset strategies to reduce costs. Visit the calendar online at woodbridgelibrary.org or call the library at 732-634-4450 to register. And that is all that I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilwoman DeJesus. Councilwoman Dean.
Thank you, Council President. First, you might be wondering why we're wearing yellow tonight. We raised the flag for childhood cancer this evening. We had a wonderful young lady who I met when she was 4, and she started out with cancer, and now she's going into middle school, and she's still she's fighting the good fight. She doesn't have it anymore, but she has become such an advocate for Woodbridge Township, just to make awareness for children that are fighting cancer, and we just really support her. She did an excellent job this evening. And I just have 2 announcements. The Colonia Fire Department will be holding their open house on Sunday, October 4th, from 1 to 4. The firehouse located at 250 Inman Avenue. Come out and meet this wonderful group of volunteers who are learning about fire safety. And then the Colonia Breast Cancer Walk and Oktoberfest is Saturday, October 11th. The Breast Cancer Walk will be stepping off from St. John Vianney's at noon sharp and will proceed down to the Springwood Swim Club, where we will be holding a charity Oktoberfest with great food, a wine and a beer garden, live music by 7 Stone, and lots of activity for the children, including mini golf, face painting, hay rides, pumpkin painting, and much more. The Oktoberfest will be held from 1 to 6 p.m. All proceeds from these events will be donated to local families. Ariel Curtis to help her in her recovery for breast cancer, Natalie Matos, a college student battling cancer, and the children of Sharon Newman, who lost their mom this past summer. So please come out and join us for these 2 great community events while supporting these families, and join us for our walk for breast cancer, to walk for those who are fighting cancer, have lost to cancer, and who beat cancer. So that's all I have this evening. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilwoman. And Councilman Dillon.
Yeah, thank you, Council President. Also, my agenda is in order. I have one announcement. This past weekend, a portion of Oak Tree Road between Parkway Bridge and Route 27 in Islin was successfully repaved, including milling, resurfacing, and new striping for traffic lanes, crosswalks, and fire lanes. This improvement have made the roadway look much better and, more importantly, safer for both drivers and pedestrians. We want to thank our mayor, township administration, and Middlesex County, and especially County Commissioner Charles Kenny, for their support and funding, and for their continued dedication to improving our community's roadways. This project marks another important milestone in keeping our township safer and well-maintained. And that's all for tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman. So, Councilman Harris.
Thank you, Mr. President. I want to recognize my predecessor, Councilman Greg Ficarra. Thanks. Welcome back. From my agenda here, Board of Education, I want to remind the residents that Mayor Max Cafe is reopening on Wednesday, October the 1st, next week, and thereafter on school days only. Their hours are 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. They serve breakfast and lunch. These are Woodbridge Township School District students who make and serve breakfast and lunch as part of a career development and job training skills program. That Mayor Max Cafe is located inside the Cypress Center, 881 West Avenue in Port Reading. Again, open Monday to Friday, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. on school days only, and reservations are not required. Along the same lines, speaking of our youth, under item number 3 on my agenda, the youth centers, the 3 of them in the township, have reopened as of September 15. They are located in Colonia, Woodbridge, and Fords. They are open from 3 to 6 p.m. daily on school days only. They're open to students grades 6 through 8 this is public school students as well as any of our students from St. James or St. John Vianney as well. It's a structured and safe environment with adult supervision. It's free to attend and participate. You just need to sign up, and you can learn more about these programs through the mayor's Facebook page, the Youth Services website, or the Youth Services Instagram page. Nextly, item number 14 under my sustainability agenda, there is a great new program that the township has launched under the Office of Sustainability. It's a Halloween costume swap where between now and October the 1st, which is next week, the township is collecting here at Woodbridge Town Hall as well as the youth centers, collecting gently used Halloween costumes, which will then be repurposed and recycled, if you will, out to the community on Saturday, October the 4th from 9 to noon, where residents of the community are welcome to come and pick up, again, these gently used Halloween costumes. So we're repurposing rather than having to go out and repurchase Halloween costumes year after year, and then they sit on a shelf or in a closet somewhere. We're putting them back into good use, and we're being sustainable, of course. So again, the pickup event is Saturday, October 4, from 9 to noon at the Woodbridge Health Department. I don't think I mentioned that. You can learn more about this at the mayor's Facebook page as well. He's got the best Facebook page in town, run by Megan back there. Nextly, second and last item, it's National Public Lands Day this Saturday, September the 27th. There's at least two events going on. Is the semi-annual Colonia Cleanup, which runs from the Shaughnessy Park, which is located in Colonia at 571 Inman Avenue. It's a rain or shine event. Typically, we run from about 9 a.m. to about 1 p.m. That's open to people of all ages and abilities. We'll put you to work. That's weeding, mulching. Sometimes there's some painting, picking up litter in the creek, things of that nature. And then lastly, at Oros Park, there's a Woodbridge River celebration, and that Oros Park is at Omar Avenue and Avenel. Members of the public are welcome to come out to that event after you've spent some time picking up litter around your community. And lastly, just a couple thank yous. Township ran a great Pass One program. This is a new state application that combines the applications for the Senior Freeze, the Anchor, and the Stay in J property tax relief programs. It's under one application. The Township Senior Services ran a program where residents received assistance filling out those applications through this Treasury Department that was located at the very busy Acacia Center, as Mr. Small pointed out. If you missed that event or you have not yet filled out your blue booklet, you still have time. October 31st is the deadline to apply for those three programs, again, under that singular application. If unfamiliar, you want to learn more information, visit nj.gov/treasury/taxation/relief. You could also find this through Google, again, the PAS1 application. And lastly, I know Mr. Ficarra would point this one out. This past weekend, we had the 18th annual Tour de Woodbridge Bicycle Tour. There were 85 cyclists who took part, and I want to give a thank you to the sponsors and the volunteers, including the guy who ran the program, Jeff Marmelstein of the Woodbridge Community Center, who ran that great program. So that's it, Mr. President. Thank you.
Councilman Harris. Mr. Mitchell?
Thank you, Mr. President. Under number 1, I continue to work with the police department on reviewing these matters. Dropping down to number 5, just on elections, as you probably all know, the county clerk's office started rolling out the mail-in ballots as of this past Saturday. I've unlocked the mail-in drop boxes over at the main library and here at the municipal building. They'll remain open until election night at 8 p.m. And also early voting starts Saturday, October 25th and Sunday, November 2nd. That also will be at Acacia Center. That's all I have.
Thank you, Mr. Rich. This is Mr. Mr.
Thank you, Council President. I have 2 items tonight. I have a tax and sewer overpayment, and I have a parking permit refund. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Please, Director Niski.
Thank you, Council President. My agenda is in order.
Thank you, sir. Planning and Development Director Gordon.
Thank you, Council President.
Thank you. Public Works Director Brewer.
Thank you, Council President. I have my agreement between the County of Middlesex and Township of Woodbridge to install do not block the box pavement marking at the intersection of Inman Avenue and Walk Lane.
Thank you, you, sir. Legal?
Nothing, thank you.
Thanks. Look for motion to adjourn?
I'd just like to make a comment, please, before the meeting starts. I want to thank everyone who came out today. I appreciate your support very much, and come to more council meetings. You'll see more that's going on in town. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you. Motion.
Thank you, Council.
Second.
Motion properly second, meeting adjourned. Have a good night. Thank you.